mean, Prody straight out the gate bans the only water Tem Tsubaki-chan has access to. Is quite fearless when it comes to that. I mean, Prody knows that fire Tems can handle Madrid perfectly fine, but Wimplum, quite a monster in terms of water damage. Tsubaki-chan, Prody did say he's the only player who managed to beat him during the Swiss. So, you know, if Tsubaki-chan can make it bleed, he can certainly kill it.
And Blue, I know you heard me, but bro, I had the freaking stream muted, so you were the only one hearing the hype. Oh my god.
Oh, dang. But
God
anyways,
dang it. So I'll repeat it again, guys. We are seconds away from getting started with our finals match. Prody versus Tsubaki-chan, getting things underway. Prody starting things off with the Valash and Sapphire, and Tsubaki-chan with the Tataru and Madrid. I know, Blue, you were talking to me, so I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's hearing me. But I had it muted. Why do I do that?
Regardless, you know, still the hype ensues. Prody, this is the most bizarre opening I've seen from him. Decides on the Valash instead of anything else. Tsubaki even gave him the opportunity. He's like, go ahead, pick your 2 fire to extinction Tems. I am not afraid of your shenanigans. And nope, I mean, Prody decides to open with a Valash, so does feel like he needs a Crystal Tem to fight in the long run. But we'll see.
Yeah, not a bad idea. However, all the pressure right now is towards Prody, man. The Tataru Stoneball on both Tems does effective damage. Mud Showers on both Tems of Prody's Tems does effective damage. So yeah, all the pressure is on Prody right now. The Tataru and Madrid doing a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get the early switch out. I think honestly, if Prody wants to go with a madness buff on the Valash, a Mud Showers and a Stoneball, or you know, a double Stoneball would be enough to clean up the Valash.
Prody thinking about his next ban. Obviously, Tsubaki took a whole minute for his, so definitely respecting how he wants to play this.
And guys, since it's still in between the match, guys, a little hype in the chat, little smazygasm. Thank you, Wes, so much for those 5 gifted subs to everyone here, or everyone that received it here. Thank you, Wes, you mad man. And thank you guys for that hype there. Bring the hype over to the finals games. We're about to get started. They're just making over. And thank you, Blue. I've seen your smazygasms.
There we go.
And I'm making a Luma version of him real soon. Hopefully we have him for early next week. But back to the game. Both grandpas were able to be picked up for both Temtems, and Taifu, we saw how much he did first game. Sorry, in the semifinals. So Taifu does get picked up. He did a lot against the Madrid. So not a bad pick.
Prody. This is actually interesting. Runs the Valash in the opening. This is probably the most unexpected I've seen from him. But we'll see. He's running a slightly more normal build, I would say. Only Sapphire and Taifu really to complement that extinction build. But Tsubaki-chan likewise has no way to remove it. So we will see how brutal this becomes. It will become very grudge matchy by the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen Tsubaki. He's a very, very intelligent player. So trying to do his best to try to play around the extinction, you know, try to switch in the unimportant Temtems. But guys, the finals is underway. Let's see who's going to be taking this very first game. This is a best of 3 series, just like the other top 8 games. So it won't be said and done just for this very first game. But Valash, feeling too pressured, will retreat for Taifu. And we get the double switch, so exactly what I was thinking from before. Both of these Temtems from Tsubaki-chan pressure a little bit too much. And yeah, it looks like both of those earth moves were directed towards the Sapphire. So trying to take out the Sapphire before any extinction shenanigans going down. But nope, the grandpa is going to be glad to eat that half damage from that win.
Madrid at the moment still fully healthy, but Watercolor Lily will do some decent damage. Of course, Taifu, we've seen it attack before. It's not going to kill it outright, surely. But still, does devastating amounts of damage. I would not be surprised to see a double up here. Maybe pummeling the Tataru would be a good idea due to the fact that Major Slash is a major issue.
Yeah, Water Current should do decent damage. Obviously, more damage onto the Earth Tem of the Mudrid. But yeah, decent damage on the Tataru for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like a perfect jab just to try to, you know, lower those defenses for the 2-Vine later down the road. But not too much to worry about. Neither the Taifu or the Grandpa have the highest defenses, so 2-Vine's still gonna be doing good damage to both of them. But we'll see. Tricky turn to do. It is turn 2, so it is one that decides a little bit of the momentum. So Tsubaki doesn't really have an ideal play, so we could be, you know, trying to switch things up to try to get a setup. The Tataru still at 100% means that we could get a switch into the Mudra slap, and a good turbo choreography could be going off to set things off for Tsubaki-chan. And maybe similar turn for Prody too. Grandpa does have it active now, so maybe we see something along the same lines.
Such a precarious position. Tsubaki-chan's gonna swap out the Madrid, knowing that Water Cutting Lily will do quite a number on it. So Saku will be its replacement instead. Remember, Turbo Choreograph is available on the Tataru. We might see that coming out soon. Sapphire gonna come back out. Gonna maybe try and set up a cheer up actually, and it will. Extinction is now on the board, and we all know what that means. Well, it doesn't mean Major Slash, but it will still come out. Does some decent damage to the Grandpa, punishing it for that attack.
Yeah, Sapphire has not connected with any Temtem with the snare, so we know he still has the Tailsman intact. So that is the move, and you know, there's no way he's going to be going down. The 3 Prio and the Tornado, I mean, it'll go first, but it's not going to kill the Sapphire, so the Extinction is guaranteed to go off this very turn. The question for Tsubaki is, what Temtems does he want to get Extinction? Let's look at the back line. Every single one is at 100 HP, so there is no good, there is no, you know, throwaway Tem right now. Everyone has its value, but if we had to pick, I mean, Saku's one that's so hard to overcome.
No, he's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Oh, energy drink on the Tataru.
Yeah, this might be getting the better of Grandpa, but I don't know of a move. He just used Major Slash, so I don't think the Tataru is gonna kill the Grandpa. Maybe a Stone Ball onto the Sapphire?
Perhaps. It has to do enough damage to pick this off. 60%. Tataru is quite a beast in terms of attack. This is gonna eliminate. No, it's not enough. Tataru overexerts as well, so it can't even do anything next turn. Grandpa can literally put itself to sleep and swap in maybe perhaps the Barn Sheet to bamboozle it off. So remember, Prody has everything in the world to get rid of that bamboozle. Tsubaki has nothing. He cannot apply any debuffs. What debuffs does he have? He has Narcoleptic and he has Lifeful Sap. But only the Saku is influenced by that. Tsubaki-chan inevitably gonna lose a Tem at least.
And yeah, as Pat pointed out, maybe with the Grandpa you could Hypnosis your own Tem. So maybe for the Saku, Lifeful Sap and Hypnosis. I mean, it takes a heck of a, you know, you waste the Hypnosis on your very own Tem. So obviously not the most ideal, but is that worth not having your Tem die at that high HP? I would, you know, I think so. It might be the best line to try to save that tanky Saku. But we'll see. Yeah, Sapphire going down to 5%, so definitely will be retreated for the time being. Maybe we're going to see the Banshee going off now. Or it might be time to bring back good old Valash, get a Madness buff. Okay, and thank you, Prody. So correction, I definitely believe Prody. I think he's played the Extinction comp a lot of experience between it.
Yeah, you can Hypno any other Tem, not yourself. So the correction there. So regardless, Barney's gonna swap out here. Remember, neutrality means that Extinction wasn't gonna affect him anyways. Tataru's gonna swap out. Actually, Tsubaki just says, okay, Tataru's dead. Let me try to save Saku. So Grandpa does come out. Again, I'm kind of assuming this is gonna hypnosis the Saku just to get rid of that extinction. Lifeful Sap comes out, and yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing. Sorry, there's nothing Prody can do here to prevent the Saku from saving itself here. So gonna be interesting to see. Grandpa at 2. I think Grandpa's dead here.
Yeah, might just choose to overexert Hyperkinetic Strike, do some type of decent damage with that +2 speed on it, but won't be doing the most damage to both of these wind Tems. And sometimes the thing about Extinction is that it is indeed 3 whole turns, so sometimes those Temtems that you do Extinction can output enough damage against you to, you know, equalize that trade there. So I've seen it before, you know, you Extinction the Temtems, but those Temtems staying on the board and just applying pressure over and over again is enough to beat out, despite those Temtems going down after 3 turns.
Barchi and Grandpa have no, if I remember correct. So there may potentially be some hypnosis plays onto Tsubaki's Grandpa. The Barchi and the Grandpa are faster on the side of Prody. So just putting the Grandpa to sleep means Saku is dead. And Tsubaki-chan most likely may know this, may still try it still, but he might have Narcoleptic Hit. I mean, he might surprise me. Nobody runs Narcoleptic Hit for the sole purpose that you can't really use it on Saku that often, so we'll see how he decides to play this. Swaps out the Barchi there, brings out the Valash. Valash is in a very safe spot, being unable to be shut down really. So again, Hypnosis may come out, and yes it does. Puts the opposing Grandpa to sleep, and Saku is inevitably dead here. Grandpa will not wake up in time unless Saku decides to attack the Grandpa. And yes it does!
It does,
he makes sure the Grandpa alive!
So
but
really
still,
good 5-head play from Tsubaki. Understand that was most likely the line of play that Prody was going to do. So Hypnosis on the Grandpa, but with the Wind Burst waking the Grandpa up. So now, you know, it doesn't have any speed right now, so you could do a Turbo Courier this turn and then try to Hyperconnect the Valash the following turn. Or unless, wait, Blue, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't Hypnosis yourself, or you can't Hypnosis your own Temtem?
So you can Hypnosis everybody else except yourself.
Okay, so
you can't,
there's a chance. So yeah, Grandpa being on alert means you can't Hypnosis the Saku then, right? So the Doom won't be going off? Yeah, Hypnosis going off onto the Saku. The Doom is going to be cleared off.
Just in time as well. Saku is going to be put to sleep, but the Madness buff, the Madness buff as well on the Valash gonna be impactful. And this is actually very smart from the side of Prody. He picked up the Valash knowing that even if Tsubaki manages to equalize, he will have that back pocket Valash to do decent damage. I mean, Saku can't really punish Valash that often. Grandpa is nice for Hypnosis, but still, if you get enough, Madness buffs off, suddenly you're facing a Valash, and Prody, he has a secret back pocket handgun if the cheese doesn't work.
Yeah, and that is the Madness buff Valash, thanks to the Scavenger buff, almost at 100%. So literally every time on Tsubaki's Chan's side will get 2 Crystal Spikes to maybe the Saku survives, but 2 Vine, Madness buff, special Crystal Spike will 2-shot 2 Vine. Grandpa, Madness buff, Crystal Spike will 2-shot. So yeah, literally 4 out of the 5 Temtems will go down to that Valash. It just needs to. I'm curious to see what item it does have on it. Let's see how much damage this is.
Oh, he one-shots the Grandpa!
Oh my goodness! I told you guys.
Just says no. Like, I mean, again, Prody's it's not even a trick. Tsubaki knows that the Valash is a threat. I mean, everybody knows, and everyone and their mother knows Valash is a threat. So Prody understands it, puts it in this roster, understands that, okay, you're gonna counter my extinction? What are you gonna do? My Valash is now buffed up and ready to destroy. So again, Prody playing for the long con. Tsubaki did beat him once, but this is a best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. Prody has prepared.
He has prepared.
So does Tsubaki.
And now, yeah, with the Barchi with the Bamboozle, could be keeping this Valash safe. I'm willing to bet. Let's check out the speed on the Barchi. It is +2, so every single time once the Bamboozle is taken off, the Barnchy is just going to bring it back on the Valash. So looking at the stamina, I think there's a sweatband on the Valash. We got to confirm one more time. But yeah, I was about to say, you know, the Mudrid could apply that pressure on the Valash, but the Mudrid has that special attack, right? Those mud showers. If it does run Stone Ball, that is the physical it needs.
Ooh,
But tornado coming out. Not too much. Oh, the coat. Okay.
Crystal Spike's actually gonna do some decent damage as well. Not gonna chunk out the Madrid, but Bamboozle gonna protect the Valash once. Dust Vortex gonna come out, but remember, Dust Vortex does less damage with a special defense, but popping the Valash's HP though. So Tsubaki-chan not going down without a fight. If Valash goes down, you have a low HP Sapphire in the back pocket against the 2-Vine, and that's not very good in the long term.
Yeah, you definitely want to protect it. But as we mentioned, I mean, Dust Vortex, that just goes to show how strong the move is. The hardest hitting Earth type move in the game currently. But Barnchy will be able to outspeed the Mud Shower, so he's relatively safe for right now. The Tornado, actually it was the Wind Burst if I'm correct, right? So Tornado maybe goes, pops the Bamboozle, and a Mud Shower might clean up the Valash. So Prody has to be pretty careful here on his Valash. It literally is his win condition.
I mean, technically Extinction is still available. If you manage to trade Madrid for the Valash, you can Extinction the Saku. But Saku is faster, so maybe Extinction goes before that. But again, it's all about that ifs and buts, and you're gonna have to choose basically the best course of action for Tsubaki. Currently down to 3 Temps. Swaps out the Barnchy for another tank. There it is. The Sapphire comes out here. Will eat an attack if it does go there. Valash actually swaps out as well. So the Sapphire and the Typhoon come out. This is the pairing that you fight in the Mokapuni Dojo. We'll see if it is able to withstand, and Typhoon eats it with ease. Windburst as well comes through. Typhoon is not gonna be issue. Super Banana just gonna super eat those moves. And Sapphire Extinction on the field.
On the field, however, Saku's Tornado is available, that 3 prior move. Same with the Mudrid, so I don't think the Extinction will be the play for Prody. I think those moves are going to outspeed the Sapphire, especially the Saku with that +2 speed. So it's definitely not safe. And I was just wondering, so I didn't see how much the Crystal Spike did on the Mudrid. Would it have been enough for 33%? I didn't look at where it started. It had to be what, over 66%? Like if the Tornado did, yeah, I can't remember.
I believe the Tornado did most of the damage onto the Madrid, and that's why Prody deciding against it. Swapping out the Madrid, actually speaking of the devil, swaps in the 2-Vine, will try and outspeed, and Sapphire, yeah, he tries to gamble, does not pay off. Sapphire will get picked off here. Maybe that was the plan, keeping the Valash in the back pocket for future reference. Saku has to use all of its stamina to fight that off. It does overexert, in fact. Tsubaki really doesn't want to deal with that, but now has to eat through a Water Cutting Lily from a Typhoon, but Typhoon it's all but a tickle at that point. But Saku's overexerted, and that's not good.
Yeah, overexerted. Done with the Lifeful Sap. So here we go. Valash is on the board, but can it kill the 2-Vine? I don't think it's going to one-shot, even if you double into that 2-Vine slot. When we just saw it, Water Cutting Lily did something like just 17%.
Well, we have seen in the past 2-Vine get one-shot by several different Valashes, several different Valash, right? So I wouldn't count out, and usually nobody really puts special defense TVs on a 2-Vine. So a full attack, double damage Valash. Tsubaki-chan, I don't think he wants to run this gamble. Definitely not, especially since Saku cannot assist the 2-Vine. This is really, really rough for the side of Tsubaki. Yes, he may be able to kill the Valash in the downtime.
So
but
let's see, Blue.
Crystal
Spike is enough, man.
It's just out of the field.
Yes, dude. Valash is so strong. Sacrifice from the Typhoon. If that Valash was not strong enough, another Scavenger buff is gonna proc. That Valash is looking like the true carry that he is. Back into the green health he goes.
And Barnchy paired with the Bamboozle. This Saku is in a world of hurt. Madrid comes back out, but that's what Barnchy is here for. Hypoxia, Tornado, Crystal Spikes, these additives stack up and will pick off the Madrid.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. Saku's not going to be doing a lot of damage. Let's take a look at the big bad wolf Velashed. +2 defense, +4 special defense. So that Dust Tornado, even at this health, I don't think it's going to kill there. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Barnchy, alright, keeping the Velashed safe. We did say it was going to outspeed it. Crystal Spike onto it. Is it over 33? I'm willing to bet it is.
Yes,
okay.
it will. Oh. Yep, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing the Saku can do. I mean, Tornado even back to back to back. You could do Tornado maybe 4 times and the Velashed will still be able to live through it. And I think the Crystal Spike would just be maybe 2 or 3 combined with the Barnchy as well to take down the Saku. I mean, Saku's a beast with that Lifeful Sap. So let's take a look. It is only last 2 Tems, but running out of stamina, and look at the Velash's stamina, 90% still left.
I mean, Prody, if he wanted to play safe, could triple his damage on Velash and just go from there, but we'll see how he decides to play this. Bamboozle 1, Crystal Spike, so he's gonna start cutting through the Saku's HP, and look at that, no defenses raised whatsoever. Your heal is not gonna be enough. It did 50% of your HP, so Tsubaki-chan on the ropes here, and I don't think there's any response available for Tsubaki that could push this any further, and there you have it.
Yeah, we saw it do over 50%, so under the 50% mark will be enough. Prody taking down the previous champion in Tsubaki-chan, so incredible stuff from Prody. Said Extinction is not the only thing I'm running. Champion of this weekly tournament 9, or Tsubaki-chan, we've seen him do it before, bring things back from a dire situation. Let's see how it's gonna play out. I'm curious though, Blue, do you think he's gonna ban the Velash here?
I mean, that's a question of the century. I mean, Tsubaki-chan, surely you have to be careful, right? Because understanding what is more fundamentally more threatening is very hard, especially if you just lose to a certain different Tem, right? Because we see that every time, most matches, right? We're like, we see someone lose to a certain Tem and they're suddenly like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. Tsubaki-chan is going to fall into that. We'll say, no, you're not going to have your quote-unquote win condition, especially if I can deal with your Extinction comp. So we will see how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So does decide to ban the Velash. He thought it was a major problem for his team. However, it leaves the Extinction stuff there, but he didn't have too much a problem. You know, the Lifeful Sap and the Hypnosis was enough to clear the Saku. So if there is a target that wants to be, you know, eat that Extinction, and look at that, yeah, Blue.
What a opening here from Prody. He says no. I mean, Prody is doubling down onto his Extinction strat. Tsubaki-chan gets rid of his shotgun in the back and doubles up on the Dynamo. So Tsubaki-chan has the Tataru, of course, really loves opening with that Tem, but doesn't run the Bastion with it. So gonna have to find a different way to change up the pace, maybe perhaps pair it with a 2-Vine. But again, I'm just concerned that maybe perhaps Tsubaki-chan may fall into that problem of overthinking it. So we'll see how he plays it.
Yeah, so Tsubaki thinking about what he wants to try to counter. He does not have any water Tems. Of course, the Stone Ball from the Tataru, the Mudra with the Stone Ball perhaps, or the Mud Showers could be a good answer to these Fire Tems. But maybe okay, so the Mudra is the choice that he will be going with.
Insta-bans the Barnchy as well, gets rid of neutrality, so the Barnchy cannot eat a hit. Wimplump and Grandpa
so
probably
look
here.
At that. I think Prody's doing a fantastic job. What was the way he got around the Extinction? It was the Grandpa, so go ahead and ban the Grandpa, so no Hypnosis on those Tems. Just like you said the first game, Blue, there is no way to remove these Extinctions now, unless Mix has something. What does Mix have? A Cage maybe? Maybe Cage from Mix might be the tech.
The problem is I don't think Tsubaki runs Cage at all, and I think that's the concern I have. Actually picks up Mix, so we might actually have Cage. Might try to use Cage to get rid of that Extinction. Obviously, back in the day, Cage was the way people would get rid of that, just to deal with it. Just have run Cage on some random Tem, so that eventually when you see a Extinction comp, you would just simply Cage it off. But we will see how this will go.
That's very true. And the mix do have that energy manipulation or the hallucination that, you know, gives that exhaust a status effect. So that could be a different way too. But those moves are a little bit harder hitting than things like hypnosis, of course. So you are doing some good damage on yourself. Alright guys, we are getting started. Game number 2 of our finals. I see a couple of you guys saying these are one of the best finals we ever had. I'm glad you guys are feeling that way because I've definitely been excited to see these completely different strats. And Blue, you definitely seem like you're excited as well. So let's see what these players got in store for us. Double fire to start things off.
Yeah, like just absolutely crazy in the sense that Prody definitely playing Extinction Comp out of his mind. Tsubaki-chan, our back-to-back champion. I mean, he's fought everything, but you know, in reality, he's fought a lot of common comps. But definitely something out of the box is how you determine the champions from the chumps, right? You have to be able to basically be consistent with everything. Just because it's a cheese comp doesn't give you an excuse to suddenly be like, oh, I lost because it's a cheese comp, right? A champion will be able to take a bad matchup and turn it into something, at least something usable. So we'll see how Tsubaki-chan plays it. He got quite close in the previous match. We'll see if he can turn around in the second.
Yeah, very well said. Blue, adapt and overcome is usually Tsubaki style. We'll see if he's going to stay true to that. Or we crowning a new champion here. We'll see. We are in game 2 though, so okay, we get the switch out. Typhoon's going to be replacing Sapphire. I'm wondering if Volver switched out, or Volver, sorry. Alright, so yeah, really good prediction for Tsubaki-chan, understanding that most likely the Wimpling was going to try to come out to deal with it. So going to bring out the Gazuma as an answer. And a quick little perfect jab on the Wimplump. So, you know, Major Slash should be doing a lot of damage. You know, the other Temtems, the Mudrid, Gazuma, Mix, and Saku all do special attack damage mainly. So mainly just for the Tataru there. Yeah,
I mean, in this scenario, Prody obviously running the double fire, Gazuma available in the field. I mean, this Wimplump is probably leaving Electric Storm, going to pummel it into the ground. The question is, what does he swap in? He's kind of forced to swap into a Fire Temp here if he doesn't want to feel the wrath of Electric Storm. Energy Drink on the Tataru as well means that it'll be just fine.
Yeah, the thing here though, we haven't seen it. We've always talked about Tataru does have access to Cage. Same with Gazuma. So Gazuma does have Cage for Tsubaki-chan. This Wimplump is as good as dead. The Tesla Prison should be enough to clean it up. So well done for Tsubaki-chan. The Cage did come out. And understanding that Wimplump didn't even want to leave, just wants to do a good amount of damage on that Tataru. And it did a good amount of damage for sure.
Absolutely, Water Cutting Lily as well. On top of that, Tataru understands that just doing damage will be sufficient. Obviously, Electric Storm is a 3 prior move, and Tornado was used on that turn just to get it out. But now Wimplump definitely, we'll see if it's faster than the Gazuma. But the problem is, I mean, I doubt it.
I think it, you know, it had, yeah. Oh, okay. Electrical Storm gonna go first, so Wimplump not gonna be able to get off anything. Wimplump does go down with that one attack, so 4 times damage. You usually never seen it on a Wimplump, but there you go. And Major Slash on the Typhoon, taking around that 50% mark, so just trying to get some decent damage done onto the Tataru.
Yep, pummels Tataru a bit more. Now, obviously, right now, Prody on the back foot immediately, losing that Wimplump to a Cage. I mean, he knew it was coming, but now, unfortunately, we'll see how he plays it.
Alright, and speaking of the Extinction, here we go. The Volver hits the board. I think Extinction is active, right? It had turn 1. If anything, it just has to wait one more turn. We've seen the cheer up though from Typhoon, so that could be a line of play, but actually it wouldn't make sense because just the very next turn you're gonna get it anyways.
pools at the moment. Tsubaki-chan with a low Tataru, but that's about it. Everything else is a decent HP pool. Gazuma still is full HP, and Sparks applied on the Gazuma. Tsubaki-chan's gonna try and pull a Madness buff on Gazuma. He's gonna need another turn, but cheers up the Volerand. I believe he actually won.
And Blue, is your mic okay? Wait, Blue, talk, Blue? Blue, did your mic go down? Say something, Blue?
Hello.
There we go, Blue. I think your mic kind of bugged out for a little bit. Low robotic sounds.
Yeah, I think it was Discord actually, because you're on my side. You were also bugging out. That was. Anyways.
Yeah, quick little reset. We are back in action. Skynet is active. The Terminators are coming. Rip for Blue, but guys, no rip Blue. Blue's still in the house. He's still with us. He is alive. But we just saw Tataru went down. And I actually missed it. By what did Tataru go down? I was trying to bring you back in here.
Yep. So it overexerted. So the Tataru went down to overexertion by the by stoneballing the Volerand. Does put it in a compromised position, but still, Tsubaki-chan brings out the Madrid, really trying to stop the extinction.
Yeah, and the Mud Showers will outspeed the Volver extinction. But it would leave it a little exposed to a Water Cannon Lily. We saw it do over 50% damage. Unless it doesn't die. I think it definitely does die. That middle evolution, it wouldn't be, even the Volcran would take a good amount of damage. It has high defenses, but not the highest special defenses, right?
Yeah, the Volerand has very low special defense. So getting shot by anything special defense related will pummel it into the ground. I mean, Volerand took a decent damage from a stone ball, and that's because again defense is not as capable.
So yeah, let's take a look what Prody is thinking. Going with the cage, so Tsubaki one more time, trying to keep these Temtems in here, even overexerts to do so. The Volerand wanted to leave, but Mud Shower actually survived, so maybe this is good. The cage. Oh, but it wanted to switch out. I forgot it tried to switch out. So man, it probably would have known. Hindsight 2020, it would have survived the Mud Shower. It obviously would have got off an extinction instead. But now the Dust Vortex with the 3 prio. Of course, you don't want a Dust Vortex on something with only 7 to 8% left. But yeah, we saw it. We saw it. Man, so close, so close. Prody played around the cage last turn, but caught him off guard for this turn. We saw him try to switch out the Volerand. And did Taifu hit a rest? Because I didn't see any damage come out. The Mudred is still there. And my bro coming through. Thank you, Zaf. Hope it was a good stream, guys. Show these guys some love coming through. Guys, we're in the middle of a tournament. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome.
The Volerand Sapphire are sort of the win conditions for Prody here. Losing that Valash definitely does hurt, especially with how you want to run it. The Valash was the ace in terms of how you want to deal damage. I mean, Grandpa is also sort of that case, but at the moment, not so much.
Yeah, so it would have been a super clutch play if that extinction would have gone off. It would have been, he would have tried to work around. Of course, Gazuma does have that cage. Maybe would have done something like that one more time. But Volerand staying in, trying to get that extinction to go off. But Mudred ruining the plans there.
Water Cannon Lily gonna not do enough damage, not even half. So Madrid is not too threatened. And Gazuma finally gonna release that cage. But Taifu will have to overexert to Water Cannon Lily one more time, and the Sapphire gonna come out again. This Madrid has already sacked one extinction Tem. We'll see if he can take out another.
Yeah, and you know what move he hasn't used? He hasn't used the Dust Vortex, so yeah, the Sapphire is not safe whatsoever. And you know, with it just touching the board, that does mean the extinction is not live this very moment. And man, we usually don't see a Gazuma stay out here with all those crystal Tems in the usual meta. But yeah, Gazuma just sitting pretty, got 2 cages off, and now with the sparks onto the Madrid. Holy crap, are we gonna get a one-shot does Vortex?
Gonna pop the Sapphire so close. But Ember's gonna drop the Madrid into lethal range from the Water Cutting Lily, and that will occur. Gazuma, I don't think it's very worth it to cage here, but still, can get the pick off very nicely. Sapphire low.
Yeah, guaranteed the pick onto the Madrid, so well done there.
Now,
yeah, very first time the mix is touching the board. Kind of confused. The lowly, I always think of low Ali, but lowly hits the board. And yeah, this one's going to be rough. Mix is a good Temtem to all. You know, the Sapphire probably dies from even like a Windblade from the Gazuma. Of course, it's not running Windblade, but even if it did, it will go down. But yeah, the mix strong against the Grandpa and the Taifu with those crystal spikes. Electrical Storm, though, I think it cleans up here.
Picks off the Sapphire. Taifu stays alive, but unfortunately, for how long is the question, as it did overexert previously. So energy manipulation gonna pick that off. Toxic, farewell, gonna do something, but with Grandpa the only survivor on the field and only wind damage to fight a Gazuma, I think this might be going to Tsubaki-chan. And
yeah,
yes, in fact it does.
Prody understood.
Eliminated.
Yeah, and it looks like these guys are starting, so let's see what they choose to ban. The Valash got insta ban for Prody there, understanding how much work it actually did. Alright, so little betting guys, place your bets. Who do you got in this finals, the game 3, the very last match, Prody versus Tsubaki-chan? And yeah, the Wimplump was the auto ban for Prody every single time, so just thinking that was the right ban. It would probably give him troubles with the Voler and the Sapphire.
Tsubaki-chan thinking about his opening, because Prody now opens with the Taifu. And now, Gazuma is still literally the strongest Tem on Tsubaki-chan's roster. He does times 4 damage to both Wimplump and Barnchi, Prody side. So, a very, very rough fight.
Yeah, and it was revealed just as game 2 that Tsubaki-chan does indeed have the cage on the Gazuma. So yeah, if he catches Prody slipping and, you know, the Wimplump got switched in at the same time the Gazuma got switched in, the cage is going to be guaranteed to go off.
Tsubaki taking his sweet time figuring this out. You will see. Picks up the 2-Vine instead. Opens the Gazuma to a ban. Now that is something I did not expect. Picks up the 2-Vine, finds it more valuable. Grandpa opening. Prody playing differently here. Puts the extinctions in the back pocket. And remember, Gazuma, as I mentioned, very strong against Barnchi and Wimplump. I would be surprised if it got through the ban phase here.
Yeah, maybe try and switch up his game style here, his play style, change up the, you know, the game plan. But yeah, you know, banning the Gazuma leaves open the Hypnosis and the Grandpa, but I think Prody's actually eyeing the Madrid. The Madrid did cause a lot of damage to his Fire Tems and the Sapphire and the Voler. So maybe eyeing the Madrid. It does leave, you know, the other hard hitters, the Gazuma and the Grandpa on the board though.
Prody has to make his decision here. Does he really think the Grandpa is a bigger threat than the Gazuma? And honestly, it's a hard choice, but I really do think Gazuma is such a strong Tem against Prody that it's just not worth it. No, he bans the Grandpa. He says, let it go. It doesn't matter. I can still fight with the rest of my roster. And we'll see if he pays the price here or if that decision will get him the victory.
Yeah, he doesn't have a direct answer. It was only the Valash, right? Only the Valash was a direct answer to the Gazuma. So the Gazuma could be a strong carry one more time. Of course, with that cage, it's always super dangerous to try to play around. But let's see who Tsubaki wants to ban. Alright, going with the Voler.
Mix is first pick. But you know, Prody cannot run double weaknesses to Gazuma. You are just asking to get pummeled. Unless Prody is daring, picks up the Wooler. And again, fortunately, with the Gazuma on the table, his access to options are just limited in general. We will see. Zuma, of course, picked up. But Tsubaki, we'll see what he decides to play here. As Saku is amazing, very solid. But he might pick up 100 just so that the Sapphire is threatened at all times.
I do think he does need the Saku to try to handle the Golder, right? With the double fire not being picked up from Prody. Mudrid wasn't really a necessity. Now the Golder might be the big issue. So Saku with those tornadoes might be doing the job. But guys, get hype in the chat for our very last game of the finals. This is the Plus Tournament Weekly. Sorry, I said that wrong. Plus Weekly Tournament number 9. Very last game, game 3. Who will be taking it down? Who's going to get all the glory? Who's going down in the Hall of Fame? One of these players.
Yeah, at the moment, Prody fought his way through, had a perfect record against everyone except Tsubaki, and now he is here once again in a 1-1 situation. At the moment, his record against Tsubaki is, I believe, 1-2 to Tsubaki's favor, as he did lose to Tsubaki in the Swiss. So Prody, we'll see if he's got what it takes to bring it back, prove to Tsubaki that in a best of 3, he will stand a taller player here.
And whatever situation does, you know, whatever the outcome is, you could not deny that this was a fantastic set of games. I had a fantastic time watching these players play with these, you know, these unconventional teams. So yeah, I think it was a good decision trying to see these new teams in action. And yeah, but you know, it's not over. We could see some more exciting stuff coming up. I will not doubt it. But thinking very carefully for this very first turn, we saw the standard turn, you know, the perfect jab into the crystal plume. We'll be doing a good amount of damage to both the Tafu and the Grandpaws. So that could be the play for Tsubaki. What does Prody want to do though?
Absolutely. I mean, Tsubaki-chan knows that the Crystal Plume into Perfect Jab will do some solid work, especially against the Grandpa, especially against a Taifu, who neither of them have really the greatest stat lines in the world. So, we'll see. But it's up to Prody now. Let's see what he decides to play. Swaps out the Grandpa immediately, decides to keep it safe. Sapphire comes out, actually, immediately onto the field here.
Yeah, we get the cheer up, so it is available this very next turn.
Perfect jab into the Sapphire. So defense down on top of the Crystal Plume Gatling. Will eat the Crystal Plume Gatling perfectly fine as it's half damage, but I believe Sapphire is now threatened by Stone Ball.
Yeah, and with that minus defense, I think the Stone Ball will be enough to end things up for the Sapphire. Yeah, I actually do think so, 62%. But will it be getting Stone Ball's 1 prio? Nothing the Tube Mine does kills the Sapphire, so this could be a good extinction play here. Stone Ball definitely won't be going first, so I think the question for Tsubaki is who wants to eat these? Who is going to be the Temtem? Of course, we did mention things like the Mix and the Gazuma do have those cage available to try to, you know, remove the Doom status effect. But then you're going to be trying to, you know, a whole workaround trying to get those off. You're not doing these ideal plays. And Prody probably is going to take advantage of those unideal plays. Let's see on the
Now,
back line. Who does Tsubaki think of switching into? Maybe. I mean, these two Tems going down aren't the worst. You still got the Gazuma in the mix in the back.
Again, Sapphire with defense down means that getting hit with a stone ball kills it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tsubaki just stone balled it, swapped in Gazuma, caged, and then maybe perhaps just try to get rid of one of these extinctions. Yes, Sapphire has forced to leave. Stone ball will in fact kill it, and Prody knows this. In fact, I'm pretty sure Tsubaki-chan also understands this and tried to stone ball into the Grandpa. We will absolutely see how this goes about. Major Slash actually goes on to the Grandpa. Didn't even bother with the stone ball. Maybe tried to one-shot it, but Crystal Plume Gatling will land on the Barnshee. That's a perfect read. Absolutely obliterates the Barnshee out of this game. And now Prody has to fight 4v5 with an extinction composition. And I always mention being a Tem down when an extinction composition is bad news. Especially if you're running a Grandpa.
Yeah, so perhaps expecting that play, you know, Extinction was going to go off before the Stone Ball, but try to save his own Temtem. Maybe the Barnshee with that neutrality was the play Tsubaki was thinking about, so went ahead and Crystal Plume Gatling into that slot and did indeed get the kill on the Barnshee. So really good, fantastic job for Tsubaki there. But out comes the Golder. I mean, doesn't apply too much pressure. Maybe saves your Tem from some damage with those bamboozles. I don't think the Golder outspeeds the Tuvine. Obviously, it doesn't. And I don't think it'll outspeed the Tataru too. So both of those Tems will get off on attack first.
Sapphire swaps back in. Again, Prody trying to get the advantage going, but perfect jab again, punishing the Sapphire for coming in. That's a -2 defense, but Bamboozle is faster than the Tuvine. This Golder is the fastest Tuvine I've ever seen in my life. For the Gatling, gonna be eaten by the evasion.
That is a max speed Golder, but I guess that's what you do. I mean, people do max speed on the pick, so it only makes sense to max speed on the Golder. So saving itself from that damage. But now we're in the same situation as we were about 2 turns ago. The Tuvine, oh, maybe a Feather Gatling with that -2 defense. Actually, yeah, -2 defense, 1 Feather Gatling should be enough for the Sapphire there. Stoneball going to be going last, but we did see a major slash from the Tataru. That probably outspeeds. We do know Golder outspeeds the Tuvine though, so a Bamboozle could keep it safe from that Feather Gatling. Oh, and Extinction is going to be the first to hit the board, so yeah, both Tems rather slow. So I think Sapphire is still going to go down though. Major slash onto the Sapphire, going to be doing more than enough damage.
Dealing with the Sapphire, now down to 3 Tem, and Tsubaki is yet to lose 1 Golder, also on that inevitable state. There's actually nothing really you can do to get rid of that, except for maybe a Hypnosis and then Bamboozle yourself, but still it's such a rough spot. Golder not looking too good. This trade is not looking efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one more, you know, a perfect jab to another Feather Gatling, I think will be enough. We just saw how much damage 1 Feather Gatling did.
Cage applied to the Tuvine and the Tataru. They can no longer apply and save themselves. Bamboozle on the Golder is just evades. Tataru and Tuvine get some rest just so they can pummel the Golder down to a chunk size. And they still have 2 turns to go. They can still beat the crap out of this Golder.
Yeah, and Prody showing his absolutely, you know, fantastic ways of dealing himself with the Doom. The Cage plus the Bamboozle will be removing the Doom from the Golder, so very well done for him. But yeah, as you said, Blue, 2 more turns, this one and then the next one will be it for the Tuvine and the Tataru. But I don't think Tsubaki minds too much, as we mentioned. The Gazuma and the Mix still in the back line, haven't even seen the board yet. And actually really good reads there. The Bamboozle went right in the middle, so Taru going first, knocks the Bamboozle, Golder going next, puts the Bamboozle one more time, and the Tuvine going last, knocking down the Bamboozle, so no damage traded for this turn.
Golder and Taifu still in the field. Tuvine and Tataru as well, but Tuvine and Tataru most likely going down. This is the inevitable, but still, Prody fighting back. He's not giving up. He still has a lot of fight left into him. Grandpa gonna swap back in. Grandpa did take quite a hefty beating. Tornado will land, but Grandpa will eat that just fine. Half damage, and it will be fine against Tuvine, who with no special attack overexerts to do that. Major slash though is gonna hurt and is gonna go through the Grandpa. Will
I
drop
think
it
it's
to red
enough,
HP.
Blue. I think, oh, it's definitely not enough. 13% though, 13%. And the Doom finally kicking in, so Tuvine and Taru at really healthy HP will be going all the way down. But yeah, look at that, already tying things up, 3 Tems to 3 Tems. And let's take a look at the battle log when we can. I mean, all these Tems, the side of Tsubaki, there's no setup so far, as they haven't, you know, the Tuvine and the Taru stayed on the board for all those 8 turns. And I don't believe Grandpa has had any kind of turbo, so the hyperkinetic isn't going to be, you know, connecting as hard as it previously has been.
Saku and Gazuma though comes out. Grandpa is in a rough spot. The extinction is gone. There's nothing Prody can do to get rid of it except for raw fighting power. And when I say raw fighting power, Taifu doesn't come up in my head. So right now, bit of a problem.
Yeah, the Gazuma is definitely the biggest power. Grandpa usually the damage dealer, but Gazuma does such a great job at eating up those attacks. We saw the Taifu, even with the strongest attack, the water cutting lily, hit the Gazuma, but it only did about 10 to 15% damage, so not the most to be done. But you know, to try to deal with the hypnosis is gonna be, oh, I thought it was gonna be on the Gazuma, but Saku. But wait, 1 Tesla prison maybe from the Gazuma. Okay, going with the spark. So man, oh, on the Saku, so once his tornadoes to hit a little bit harder. Yeah, we usually don't see, you know, the sparks coming from the Gazuma. As usually on, you know, the PvE when you see him sparks, but here in competitive is doing quite the work. We saw the sparks on the Mudger to do so much against the Sapphire last game, and now it sparks on Saku, so you know, it is an air specialist, so adds just that much more power. And I think that was intended to have an easier time against the Golder, right? The Golder's his biggest tank right now, so Saku is the answer.
Gazuma still too low here. We'll see how this goes about. Turbo choreograph applied.
On the Golder, let's go a little faster.
Yeah, but Gazuma kicks up the pace as well.
And Prody being so daring. I think Tsubaki did not expect his grandpa to stay in the face of the Gazuma for 2 whole turns straight, that he hasn't even attacked into that slot. So yeah, got off a hypnosis and a turbo despite the Gazuma just easily taking care of it. But now I think the setup has been done. Both Tems are +2 for the Gazuma, +2 speed for the Saku. The electric storm will go off first. But I mean, the Grandpa could maybe go a little bit more damage on the Saku, but not a lot. That is a wind Tem in the Saku. And this one is quite the uphill climb right now as it stands.
Grandpa Golder solo. Tornado gonna come out here, pick off the Golder. There's nothing the Golder can do in this situation. finally gets rid of that big boy.
Yeah, and so much extra damage to Saku trait, the Saku item, and then of course the Spark. So one more time, if that Saku wasn't hitting as hard as it could, it definitely is now. But Spark, you know, Grandpa going second to the Gazuma as it is +2 speed. But the very last 2 Tems for Prody against 3 Tems remaining for Tsubaki-chan. But look at the health differential. Taifu's the only one at 100%. And Taifu isn't going to be that carry that we saw in game 1 like Balash.
Hyperkinetic strike and a let of Gazuma, but look at how fragile that looked. Absolutely no damage, and Grandpa is forcibly overexerted. Again, it is not his situation to fight a Gazuma and a Saku in the same place. Taifu's going to eat that Electric Storm very nicely, but I'm not sure if Taifu is the living legend of damage that we see. Sacrifice actually just takes itself out, just
of course, I think, you know, it's as good as a concession there. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, man, this man cannot be stopped. Tsubaki-chan asserted his dominance. He said, you give me a different...